We want
And then
freedom. There was my driving force. I wanted freedom. Stress is an adult word for fear. It's a rare individual that can put the ego aside.
if you started your business hoping for a little bit of freedom and then found out that you're working harder than you ever did as an employee, you need to listen to this episode because Mike DeJong is the whiz at turning around franchises that are in trouble, on helping people free up their time to actually run a business in the way that they had intended. Michael's been doing this for 30 years, so he's probably seen every disaster you could think of. There will be no shame in this episode. So welcome, Mike, to the Jo Show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, Jo.
Would love you to tell me what listeners are going to learn by the end of this episode.
Absolutely. So they're going to learn to identify where they are and how to escape the operator's trap.
Well, that sounds good. I forgot to mention you're also the author of a book. I need to put that in there, Grow Smart, because that's valuable. But so let's go back to your own experience. You know, that moment that you first realized you didn't own a business, you owned a job. You know, how did that feel?
Oh God, it was terrible. Absolutely. Every time I go back to it, it just rips my guts out still. But I relive it because if you keep it real, then you can maybe help some people. So for me, I finally got a manager in place. I thought, okay, I could finally have some freedom. That's why I think a lot of us start businesses is to get freedom, however that means for you. You know, whether that's being home when your kids get home or travel or whatever. Everyone's got a different definition of what that is. And I'm like, I'm going to go on vacation. This is great. I'm going to go to Mexico, which is very popular here in the US. We're just going to like hop on a plane. We're in Mexico in a few hours. And I landed and I turned my phone on because I'm an operator and you got to be in charge. You got to be like, large and in charge, right? And, the gentle breeze is kissing my skin. And remember, I left when it was snowing. It was snowing when I left. And there's palm trees and there's steel drums are playing and there's Bob Marley. And I'm like, oh, this is what I need. And then my phone rings. And it's my manager, and she's only going to call me if the place burned down. It's like, I'll only call you if it burns down. Otherwise, I got it. I'm like, oh my God, my business burned down. This is bad. I don't know if I want to answer this, but I'm going to answer it. She's like, hey, the business didn't burn down. I'm like, okay, what's the problem? Well, I just want to let you know I'm quitting, but I'll stay until you get back from vacation.
It's like
Thanks for the call.
how to build a thing in your brain that says if I take a break, everything's going to be a disaster.
Right. And then I had no systems and processes in place because I was like even though I'm an engineer and an aviator, two industries are built on its systems and processes. And I came out of corporate America, Fortune 500 company, the whole thing, systems and process. I'm like, I don't need those. So because I didn't have them, I spent the entire vacation on my laptop and on my phone talking to people in my business because they didn't trust her to make a decision.
Mm.
So they came to me and everything had to go through somebody. There wasn't like if X, do Y. It was just like, well, ask. Or if you got a problem, just ask. Don't try to solve it yourself. Just ask. We'll take care of it.
I want to just dig into that a little bit because, as you say, engineer, aviator, you know the value of systems, like you drilled into them. What do you think was it that made you think, I don't need that? I mean, that's
I think I thought they were the root of what was making me unhappy in those prior careers. Like, oh, I have to follow another system. I have to follow another process. I have to have another meeting. I have to write another report. Oh, I don't want this. I'm going to build a culture where everyone's just in charge of themselves and they'll do it the right way and they'll know the right answer. I'm just going to build that. And it works for a minute and then it doesn't.
it's quite not the way to go. It's just
Wasn't the
interesting to me that you had that training and then didn't use it, but then understanding why, because we want freedom.
We want
And then,
freedom. There was my driving force. I wanted freedom. Yes.
so finding freedom in the discipline in the end is, I guess, a way through that. So when
Yeah.
you talk to small businesses now, how quickly can you spot somebody who's in the same trap that you were in?
Like in a minute.
How do you do it?
Well, like anything, it's asking questions. Like, what's your main focus every day? What are the interactions with your team? Do you have structured meetings? Or I could even lead with, this is my favorite. When's the last time you had a vacation? Oh, last weekend. I took a long weekend. I'm like, how much of that did you spend on the phone? Oh, I just a few text messages and emails, no phone calls. Well, there was. It's like, okay, yeah, you're not, you're not there yet.
So we always think we need a better idea, don't we? If we want to improve our business, we just need a better idea. But I guess you would say we need better systems.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
so true. I
take
love that
take me
better
through what that
idea.
looks like. If
Yeah,
you
you
had any
wake
sort
up in
of
the
drag
morning.
people off the better idea magic chasing syndrome.
I just love that though. I just this, we get up in the morning, we're in the shower, we have this amazing idea. That's our idea. Let's go do it. We don't take our second best idea. We take our best idea. And that's what we're gonna. Yeah. So I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit and say you got to fail faster. Just give up on your idea. Like, just if the idea is not working, stop doing it. Try something else.
Mhm,
Put the ego aside. But
mhm.
in
Might
building
have
the
killed one of
systems,
those this morning myself. Go on.
that's good. That's good, Joe. Congratulations. It's actually hard to do. Our egos get in the way,
I
and
know, kill those darlings.
it's like that's my idea. It's an amazing idea because it's mine. I birthed it. It's my
Yeah.
baby. Um, so in building the systems, there's two sides of the same coin. It's one, understanding where you are in the three major business archetypes, or the ascent trilogy, I call them. And then from that, knowing, once you know where you are in that archetype, then you could more easily, I think, build the systems. And the systems are, in this day and age, so simple. It used to be like you had to sit down at your computer or your typewriter and just bang the thing out, right? Just hammer away, and if this, then that, and go to this person and now
Not
it's like,
anymore.
not anymore. No. So I say if it has three steps, or you do it more than three times, you need a system. And how do you build a system? You could log into any one of a million software tools, Loom, Descript. You could take your cell phone and you could just record yourself, whatever. Like, just make it super, whatever's the simplest for you. And just
Mm.
sit down and, like, if you're ordering something, all right, I'm going to sit at the computer and just talk. It's like, okay, I'm going to this website, and here I'm typing the website, and then I go to this menu, and then I go to this drop down button, and then I click on this thing, and just go walk through everything that you're doing, and then hand the recording, whether it's online or on your cell phone. Just give it to someone else. Don't look at it, please. Don't do it. We all hate how we look. We all hate how we sound. It's universal.
True.
You don't have to fix it. You're going to be like, I got all these ums and ahs, and my makeup wasn't right. Like, just, who cares? Just hand it to someone else in your business and say, try to do this. And if you hit a roadblock, let me know. And they usually will. And then you fix it, and then you get it to where it's fixed. And then you hand it to a third person and say, just see if you could do this. And if they can,
Yeah,
you've built your first system. Then just
yeah.
dump that in your favorite AI tool to write it out for you. Eureka! You have a
Mm,
system. Woohoo!
mm. I'm
No
actually
extra
gonna,
hours, no extra time.
chuck in my version of that, and it's literally my AI agent I've built in a way, well, the main one, and then there's a team, but I've built it in a way that it can go from any language model. I don't have to rely, I don't wanna get caught on someone else's platform or with their managed
Uh-huh,
agents,
uh-huh.
but I've got this rule that if we're gonna do something even twice, I want it to build a skill, and then also we have a system on a timer where it goes and reviews the skills, so it's
Joe,
just
that's amazing. I'm
it's
gonna steal
actually
that.
changed my life because I'm the kind of person who needs lists on lists on lists to remember things, and cooking the rice, remembering not to have it boil over and put it on timer,
Oh my
it's I
goodness.
like, I won't tell you how many lists I have, but it's just
Oh,
building
list.
those
We
systems. I just wanna, I guess, endorse what you're saying. Take anything you do that's gonna be repetitive, and whatever format works for you, as you say, whether you flip on your phone and just talk to it, or talk as you're doing
yeah,
something at your desk, and you're right, don't think about it too much.
just do it.
Don't pick it apart and analyze it, just get that system working, and I can tell you, it's freeing. Everything you're teaching here is so freeing, and so I guess I just wanna get on to the next question so that we can get your wisdom out there, because what you do is so good.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, so you say also that growing too early, makes a business worse. Tell us about the why is that a problem? We all wanna grow quickly and
Yeah,
fast and
grow.
now.
Right. I originally actually had my book titled "Grow Fast." I'm like, no, 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 no. You actually have to grow smart, because if you grow too fast, you're just scaling chaos.
Mhm.
Until you have the processes and systems in place, if you are the decision maker, if everything comes through you, you're already working probably 60, 70, 80, 100 hours a week. You only have 168 hours a week, even in Australia. So, got to sleep during some of those hours, etc. you can't scale that. So you're gonna have chaos. People aren't gonna know what to do. They're not gonna know what the next step is. They're not gonna get their problem solved, etc. So you have to build that foundation, that solid foundation first. And I know that through firsthand knowledge. I'm like, okay, I'm not making that much money. My top line is amazing, doing great, woohoo. My
Mm.
bottom line's terrible. Like my managers and my rank and file are making more than I do, and I own this thing. Like what the heck? I know. I'll open another location. That's what I'm going to do.
That'll fix it.
Yeah, and I hadn't built the processes or systems. I started to, but they weren't all in place yet, and I just scaled the chaos and end up working even more hours, sleeping even less, and made even less money.
It's so important because I, I I just want to emphasize this because I have seen the inside of what look like successful businesses many times, and they preach systems. They're teaching systems to other people. They're running courses, and they get into the back end, and you ask where theirs are, and it's duct tape or nothing.
Yeah,
And it was a massive shock to me the first time, but I'm going to call it hypocrisy. We don't want to call ourselves hypocrites, but I've seen it many times where people talk it but don't walk it. And I think it
yes,
shows through in the stress. But I'm interested in why we don't. Why do you find it hard for people to uncurl their fingers off that holding that tightly? Is it their ego or their identity, or what is it that stops them from setting up structures? Because the mechanics of doing it are not hard.
yes,
Why are we
yes.
not doing it?
It's a two-pronged answer. And prong number one is what type of business archetype are you? And prong number two is where do you fit on the six basic human needs? So let's start with the first one. And I call the business archetypes, the Ascent trilogy. You have your GSD, your get stuff done person. You have your architect. Those are the people that love building systems and processes. And then you have your hunter. Those are the ones that want to go out and find the next deal, go out and do the marketing, do everything. So if you are a GSD, or if you're a hunter, you don't want to spend time with systems. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you don't know how. It's just not your business home. It's not where you love to work. It's not where you love to play. So anything any of us don't like to do or don't know how to do, we tend to avoid, right? And we tend to stick with the
Mm,
things that we like to do.
mm,
Like accountants are accountants for a reason. They love numbers. Business owners hate looking at their books because they're probably not that's not their thing. They wanna, like, they wanna do the thing. They wanna hunt the next deal. You get the idea. So, if you could realize which one you are, if you're not an architect, you probably need to find an architect. If you're
mm,
not if you're a GSD person, you need to find an architect and a hunter because 'cause you're probably not getting enough deal flow either. It's so just finding out where your home is. Now, short term, yes, you are gonna have to be the one that does it because when we start small businesses, we do everything. We wear all the hats. But as you grow, just know that this is something you need to hire for sooner rather or outsource or build an army of AI agents or
mm.
whatever
Fill that
method you
gap.
want to use. Like just like
Yes.
figure out it's not you doing it, and then so we because doing it something we don't like to do causes stress, and stress is an adult word for fear.
Oh, well said. It's
And, why don't we do things because we're afraid of them? Well, what are we afraid of? Like, well, if I don't do it well enough, then people will think less of me. If they think less of me, then they probably won't like me very much, and then I won't feel loved.
mm.
And you're like, "Ugh, okay, I
And
don't
you've
want
just you've
that."
you've just flipped it from it's not whether you're good or bad or whether it's ego and hang on, but just to the type of makeup that you are, the get stuff done person or the hunter.
Yeah,
And that's a really nice way to look at it, just to go, "Oh, okay, that's just not my makeup,"
yeah,
and fill the
it's just not
gaps.
my makeup. And then the second prong of that answer, the
Mm.
6 human needs that they described to me, is you have people that really believe like and we all need all of these. But there's usually 1 or sometimes 2 that are an emotional home. Like this is our home need, our driving force.
Mhm.
And those are certainty. We need to have certainty in everything we do. Uh, variety or uncertainty, significance, love or connection. Love's a higher way to meet that, but these days people seem to be settling for connection. And then growth and contribution. If you get the first 4 met, you could usually start working on the next 2. So if you're someone that especially that can't let go, you probably have a high need for certainty. Or
Mm.
you probably have a high need for significance. You can't let this go because it's like, I'm like, this is mine. Like, and if I give
Yeah.
it to someone else, they're gonna screw it up because no one could do it as good as I do.
Yeah.
And then we could work on their mindset. I have a process around that too that says, okay, how can I find someone that's better at this than me? And how can
Mm,
I unhinge my identity from that? There's been a lot of studies that show the more uncertainty you could accept into your life, the happier you'll be, which is again another funny thing because everyone's like, I love uncertainty. I'm one of those people, by the way, Joe.
mhm.
But we all like the uncertainty that we like flat tire on in the rain. Yeah, that's
Yes.
uncertainty. Probably don't like that very much. Surprise birthday party. Oh, that's amazing. So there's
Yeah,
various levels, but knowing
that's
which
true.
one you fit in helps you to understand like why you're driven to do something the way you're driven to do it.
It's
Like
good.
if
I think I remember Steve Jobs saying, "Be uncomfortable with things not being, like, finished, being
yeah.
half done." I can't remember the exact words, but, when a problem isn't completely solved, just being uncomfortable with that space in between, which struck me, because I like to have things buttoned up, done, settled.
So certainty might be
Yeah.
your driving force, Joe.
Quite possibly.
But any of them to the extreme are not good. Think if certainty is your driving force, and you're like, all right, I'm going to go to the casino today
Mm,
and I'm going to play blackjack, and you're
yeah,
certain you're going to win and get 21 every single time,
yeah, could be a
and
problem.
you're absolutely right. Eventually, that's going to be terrible. So that's why even the most certainty driven people need some variety.
Yeah, true, very true.
Or
If
that there's just different. We all need them all. There's just which one drives us the most is going to decide, and that also helps us to let go or not let go
Mm.
of
I knew
of
a
the
business
reins.
owner once who did let her team build lots of systems, but as soon as they were built, she would pivot. That word has become almost an anathema to me, even though we need to be flexible, because she would pivot and everything would just be irrelevant completely, which always had the team in mayhem and uncertainty. It was actually not a very good working environment,
Yeah,
even though the intentions of the business owner were good. Um, have you experienced much of that with businesses you've seen, where people just chop and change and tear it down? And
yeah. What do we think their driving human need is? Just throwing it out there, Joe. It's
probably
not a test.
variety.
Probably variety. Exactly. Ah, this is working great. I'm not feeling I'm not getting the juice I need. We need to change it. Yeah.
That's an interesting one,
Or
isn't it?
people like myself, I would change businesses. I've been an engineer, I've been a pilot, I've been in operations, I've owned several different franchises. I know it's a lot of me, me, me. I'm not trying to this
No,
isn't a
it's a good
bragging session. It's
illustration. And
just
it's
that
probably a safer way to deal with the need for variety than just tearing a business apart over and over again, isn't it? Go and start another one, add to your portfolio or something.
but it on one hand, it's given me a lot of great life skills, which makes me better at what I do now. But on
Mm,
the other hand, I've probably left literally millions of dollars on the table if I would have just stuck with one thing
yeah.
and instead of gotten right at the top of the bell curve, which is where I would normally be, I'm like, I am really good at this.
Mm,
I'm starting to head down the bell curve. I'm bored. I
mm,
need to do something else. Like maybe if I would have taken it all the way down and become like a okay, I'm not Steve Jobs, but like, where you get like down on the other end where you're like the total master, those 1 or 2% people,
yeah.
really focused my attention. Um, but that's water under the bridge, and I've realized that now. So now I stick with things. Like I used to go every 5 years. I'm 10 years into this, and I'm still loving it, going strong because I
Look
realized
at you.
I could
That's
find variety in other ways. I could find it in the systems, in the process, within the business, just doing it different. But things
mm.
I letting things go. Like, okay, I am a master of this now. I'm gonna let that go, and I'm gonna focus on this other area that I'm very uncomfortable in and don't like.
It's interesting. If you did mention the first thing you do when you walk into a business is ask them when they last had a vacation that wasn't
Yeah,
a long weekend full of texting on their phone to their operations manager.
yeah.
But as far as the actual systems in their business go, what's the first thing that you would look at?
Do they have any? Literally, do they have any? It's like you said, there's duct tape. It's just not there.
Do you find that's most of the time, or is it?
Oh, all too often. And then the second thing is, it's like, oh, we got systems, we got processes. I'm like, okay, where do they reside? And they can't find the physical binder or the file on the computer where they reside. And then
Uh,
if they can do that, okay, I'm like, great. Oh, that's amazing, wonderful. Then let's go talk to some of your peeps.
Do they know they exist?
It's like it's like, "Hey, do you understand the process for what you're doing?" "Oh, yeah." "Well, where is it written down?" "Oh, I don't know." You just it doesn't take that many questions to go down, and then, the ones that are doing it's like, "Oh, I go here, and here it is, and I make sure it's the right version, and I'm like, this is amazing. Alright, you have them," but it's rare.
So when the owner has to admit that they're the bottleneck, that moment, what does that conversation look like? Be quite a significant one, I think, because we go into denial and all sorts of lies. We tell
Yeah.
ourselves that everything's fine. So what does that look like when you sit down with someone like that?
Yeah, more times than not, I'm not as direct as we're talking right now. It's a rare individual that can put the ego aside and go, "Okay, I can see where you're going with this. Right, I'm the problem." Like that's just that's rare. And it's beautiful when it happens. But it's more a conversation on, "Hey, I see you've built a great business here, and you're doing a lot of things really well because they are. They wouldn't be in business. And you've built a good team, and they have, or else they wouldn't be in business. But we have some areas where we could bring in some improvements and get you your life back. Would you like
That
that? Would you
that's so
like to have some
gentle.
more freedom? Would you like to make some more money?" You just start asking questions along those lines, and they're kinda like you in sales, right? Building the yes. You get them saying yes to a bunch of things. And then you're like, "All right,
Yes.
if there's one thing that you can give up today, like you just didn't care about, what would it be?" And they usually can have one thing, almost always. Some of them will still not give. You have to say, like, threaten their children or something terrible like that. It gets rather dramatic, but that's rare. Then they're like, "Okay, I really don't like doing this one thing." Like, "Great! That's wonderful. We just
Mhm.
had a breakthrough," and I celebrate the breakthrough, and at first or after a while, they're celebrating breakthroughs, but when you first start, they think you're a weirdo. But you realize I'm trying to hardwire, like, this is a good thing. This is amazing that they're letting something go. I want them to get endorphin hits from, like, when they do it in the future. So right away, I'm like, "That's amazing. This is great. Let's have a celebration." And then we'll figure out, like, I'm like, "All right, well, let's do it one more time. Let's do it together. Except we're gonna record you doing it. And then we're gonna get someone else to do it." And they're like, "Okay, I guess that's fine." And then they wanna look at the recording again. Don't ever do that. Don't let them do that.
That's a huge tip. Never look at the recording.
Never look at the recording, never listen to it, never come back to it. Uh And they'll see that, that the person they gave it to can pull it off, and oftentimes, more times than not, Joe, I found the person who they hand it off to, A, already knew how to do it, or B, actually does it better than them,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that's kinda humbling, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, and nothing broke, and I'm still making money, and the world's still spinning, and my family still loves me, they don't think less of me because 'cause I'm not doing anything, and, okay,
Damn.
well,
Damn,
let's
it
do another
works.
one." And then we just
It
start programming it in. It's like, "All right, if this week can you give me 1 a day, or can you give me 2 this week?" Or whatever I feel I could push them on, you know? Every person's different, gotta read the room. Um,
mm.
it's interesting because it builds. I've had, one young lady I'm working with right now, an attorney. She's amazing. She does wills and trusts, and it's for special needs people, like people that have special needs children so that their children are protected, when they pass, and she would take like 1% of what I said for, like, the first year I'd work with her, but she kept making progress, so I kept working with her, and now we're in year 2, and usually this takes months, not years, Joe, just so you know. But every individual, it's up to the person if they wanna
Good to know.
change.
Months, not years.
It's usually months, not years, but if they don't wanna change, sometimes it takes a minute. Now it's almost like I don't even finish the sentence, she's like, "I got it. I'm gonna do this thing." I'm
Great.
almost like I
Yes.
almost have
You've
to let her go on
unlocked.
like a crutch now. I've told her, I'm like, "You don't need me anymore."
Mm,
Like, you
mm.
you know what to do. Like, why are we even having these conversations? But it's so instant. She just catches herself and just moves on.
The two things that really interest me, building a business to suit who you are, not as the templates or the gurus say you should, which you're doing by helping implement the systems and the freedom so people can enjoy the life, which was the reason they went into buying that franchise or building that business.
Yep.
And also what's working in marketing right now. And on a smaller microcosm of those systems, I often see business owners just doing a bunch of activities, not building a system. And so
Yes.
nothing plays nicely together, which I think is really important. So, what do you see on that level in a business? Do you dig down into their actual marketing strategies? What do you see working well in at the moment?
Yeah, so most people, I start asking them questions like, "What's your ROI on that activity?" You know,
Yes.
and for some people, you really have to get as simple as, "What's your return on investment?"
Yes.
Or like, "Hey, you spent $100, how much money are you getting back from that? 200,
Mm.
300, 1,000?" Like, you have to meet them where they're at, and that's
Do they
great.
know?
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
I love that not everyone knows ROI and CAC and LTV and, COGS and KPI, like, who cares? There's a bunch of fancy names, doesn't matter. Let's just get
Mm.
down to what the problem is.
Yes. What do you
Uh,
get out for what you put in? That's right.
yeah, right, and once you get down to that, very often, again, small business owners don't know.
Hmm.
They don't know, or they don't wanna know. Like, they really enjoy doing this, and they hate doing that. So
Hmm.
they do a lot of this, but that actually makes some money, and that kind of oh, these conversations, Joe, they're like, "But I don't like doing that." I'm like, "Then don't do it." Just, either you're not gonna make any money or you could pay someone else to do it, or but doing this
Yeah.
is not making you money. Matter of fact, you could look and see it's actually costing you money every time you do that activity, that marketing activity.
Mm. We talk about knowing your numbers, but it can be a very simple number, can't it? Just as you say,
It
what's the
really can.
return? What is the return on investment? If you don't know that, you've got a problem. And
And
is it
and
chaotic
sometimes,
to
like,
achieve that or a systemized way to achieve that, you know?
yeah, even if it's just guess, like, "Well, went and did this thing, and I can't tell how many people came back." I'm like, "Well, okay, let's figure out a way to so we could tell.
Mm, yeah.
Let's just do we ask them? Do we give them a special coupon? Do we like, whatever? There's just 100 different ways, as many ways as we could think of.
Mm.
Probably a million ways, Joe, if we were to sit down and really bang it out. But, like, you have to, like, give me a guess, and it's interesting, where people are. I had another business owner I was working with. They have a couple of, um, um, fresh meal shops. Like, you buy a, uh, a membership for there, and you could always go get a healthy, nutritious meal, and it's a different menu every day of the week, and you get, like, you could eat in or you could take it home with you for your family, and it's, especially in the US, we eat like crap here, so it's, like, a really great system, and I'm like, "Well, what's your margin?" "Oh, we got a 50% margin." Like, "Okay, oh, it's amazing." She goes, "Yeah, but we can't ever make payroll.
Oh.
I gotta put." I'm like, "Oh, I don't think you have a 50% margin." So, and we started getting into the, like, "What does it cost you to build this sandwich?" "Oh, it's about $6." "What do you sell it for?" $12." "Okay. Yeah, I can see why you think you have a 50% margin. Then we'll go and break down every piece of cheese and tomato and bread and turkey, and it costs them like $12.50." And they're like, "Oh my god." But it's the same with the marketing stuff. If you can, how much did it cost to go to the event or do the thing or buy the ad or per click or et cetera, et cetera. What did it bring you in? Yeah,
Mm.
ROI.
So we'll get practical now for people listening, and they're nodding along and they're going, "Okay, I might be the problem. I might have to admit this to myself." You know,
It's
what is
okay. We all have a problem. We've all been there.
what is the one thing that they should do now to sort of start moving in the right direction?
Oh, yes. It's so simple and so hard, Joe. "Hi, I'm Mike, and I have a problem."
Damn. Mhm.
Just acknowledge that you could probably make some tweaks around you.
Yeah. It's actually one of those, yes, embarrassingly simple beginnings that might be hard for people to do.
So hard. It was so hard for me, Joe. My whole
Oh,
identity was wrapped up in I was the guy that got stuff done. It was a wall, I'd go through it. I wasn't smart enough to look for a door. Like,
uh,
I will go through that wall. Let's go. Gonna make some money. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I did so many events one year that I wrote it in my book. I should know the exact numbers. It was around $500,000 in events. I'm like, I made some good money. It cost me like $600,000 when I added all up, all the time and effort and payroll and et cetera. Like, I would have been $100,000 richer on my bottom line had I not
mhm.
done those events. Now
Oh,
my
you're
top line looked great from my ego, like, "Oh, I made almost $2,000,000 this year. Yes! Why have I have less money than when I made $1,000,000? I don't understand what's going on. I can't under." And the reason I looked at that particular one, the events is because I'm like, "This is an area I'm killing." So I'll look at it, I'll map it all out, I'll know all of my costs, and then I'll be able to repeat that in the systems that aren't working. And
Mm,
then the deeper I got into it, I'm like, "Oh my god, this doesn't work at all. Oh, I just got nauseous and like $100,000 richer, bottom
mm.
line, if I would have stayed home and done nothing."
It's
And I was
um
killing
it's a
myself.
massive thing with events, isn't it? Unless they're a really good top of funnel, sort of acquiring a customer to sell them things on the back end.
Yeah.
I actually had an experience with a client once who was loving doing the events and the travel and didn't like being in the clinic. When this person was in the clinic, they made a lot of money and they always had trouble getting staff to stay there who would sell as well.
Uh-huh.
And one day I pointed out, when the question came up in the meeting, why am I not making any money? I said, because you're spending it all on travel and events and hiring rooms you know, and I said, if you stayed in the clinic, you would actually, similar to you, would have been about 100,000 better off more for the year. We're
Yeah.
probably 50,000 a month better off actually when I did the numbers.
Oh, that's significant.
Instead, that person fired me when I told them to cut costs. So that's fine, but, it was
Well, that's their choice.
it's fine, it's fine, and I still respect who they are, and it's not a problem, and, the intent's there, but when you look at the numbers, as you say, what's costing you, and is it contributing to the bottom line? As you say, if you enjoy doing it, fine, but what's the motivation for doing it?
Right.
Is it
Right.
attracting new clients that you can then sell on the back end and make the money back, which many events do well? Or is it because you need connection to get out into the community? Fine, but that
Yeah.
becomes, I guess, more of a hobby, you know? Sounds harsh, but
No, but it's so true and it's so real, and people they don't wanna look at it and realize it.
mm,
A drill I'll run with people is like, okay, if you have a 10% margin and you went and sold a $100 item, how much money do you have? Profit at the end, net profit at the end. And they'll be like,
mm,
yeah, $10. I'm like, exactly right. That's amazing. So if we save from the belly of your P&L, the middle of the P&L, the expense portion of the P&L, whatever you want to call it, we save $100 on not buying this new thing. How much money will we have at the end of the P&L? And L? And they're like, $10. I'm like, no, we'll have $100. It's so like every dollar saved is like like a magnitude bigger than if we bring it in at the top end. And so many business owners, myself included, used to fall into this trap. We're like top end, top end, top end, top line,
mm.
bring in more revenue, more revenue, more revenue. It will fix everything. More revenue. It's all I need is more revenue. And they don't look at I call it the belly of the P&L. Those all the
Say
little
that
itty
again.
bitty
That's really important. Put that into one sentence. It's so important.
one sentence. Top line sales will not save you.
Yeah.
Managing the belly of the P&L will make you a wealthy person.
Mm. Well said. When you talk about building a great team, how do you go about that? If again, I'm thinking if a business owner is the bottleneck, they're making the decisions, they haven't put that trust out to the team and said to people,
Yes.
you've got the tools, you make the decisions. How do you help them make that shift?
Yeah. Often they want to look internally first, and sometimes we'll find someone that's already there that can take one of those other identities, the hunter or the GSD or the architect. But very often we should go outside, although they don't want to. They want to start inside. God, it's fascinating to me, Joe, that people want to continue to make the same mistakes that everyone makes, and they can't. Like it'll be different for me this time. It's almost humorous, but it's
We're
okay. It's their
special. We're
business.
special, Mike.
Yeah, special little snowflake. That's right. Um, all right. So they try it internally, and then they'll do one of two things. They'll dump everything on them and never communicate and wonder why it fails, or they'll micromanage it. Like the person will come to them with every question and they'll answer it. So so again, they're gonna have a failure.
Mm,
Um, assuming it is the right person, let's just say it is the right person. We'll start there. Uh, neither way will work. You have to have a structured handoff. You have to show them, you have to tell them, they have to understand why it's important. You have to like go through all of the steps. It's like when someone does something and or doesn't do something more often, it's like our instinct is just to get mad at them. And in truth, it's like, "Okay, did I tell you that it needed to be done? Yes.
Well, there's a
Okay.
good first question.
Did I tell you when it had to be done by? Yes. Did you know how to do it? No. Oh, why didn't you say something? All right, let's figure out how to do it. I'll show you how to do it." There's like you just kinda go down a checklist, and it's like, "Yes, I did know how to do it." "Okay, did you have the time to do it?" "Well, no, because you gave me 17 other things, and I didn't know this was a priority." "Oh, okay, well, now I gotta reprioritize for you." You can kinda go through a checklist and find out why. If at the end,
Mm.
like, they knew, like, all the reasons, like, they did understand it, they did know, they did and then they still didn't do it, they're giving you the middle finger, well, that's a different conversation, but that's rare. That's rare.
That is right. Would you rather inherit a team with a really great system, sorry, a business with a really great system and a subpar team, or a really great team and a broken system?
Oh my god, the system.
The system.
The system, 'cause I could start fixing the team. You could say if you got the great team, you could fix the systems, I guess that's true too, but, those teams, while they work great while they're there, and as soon as one person leaves or 2 people leaves, it tends to fall apart.
Yeah, that's a
Versus
good.
a system, you could just plug someone into the system. You think of, a very large corporation or any military throughout the world, this is like, you are the cog.
Mm.
People
So
don't like to think about themselves that way, but it's true.
yeah, yeah. So knowing that we all think we're special, when you walk into a business or a franchise and you're turning it around,
Yeah.
how long usually does that take?
The fastest I've done it is about 120 days.
Mhm,
It usually takes 12 to 18 months.
mhm. And what sort of difference do people see? I mean, talk revenue, I guess, or, the goal that mattered to the business owner. Maybe just taking a holiday is a good goal, but
A most recent one, we started when I took it over, it had, declining year-over-year sales of -12%
mm,
in March of that year when I took it over, and by the end of that year, we were positive 53, so what's that, a 65%
it's
increase?
massive. Well done. Yeah,
Yeah, but,
fantastic.
the pardon me, the, the messy part and the speed part comes in, or how you lead it. Like, how quickly do you want it to happen?
Oh, there's a
Uh,
good question.
yeah, because I've had situations where I've come in and you kinda, like, slowly nibble around the edges. And these are ones that I bought or help people, but usually, they wanna nibble around the edges. They wanna start and get small gains. Those ones are gonna take longer. Those are gonna take, the 12 to 18 months.
Mm,
I've also had ones where I've literally like, "Okay, we have some massive, uh, breakdowns on how we're dealing with our customers right now." Like, the metric for this should be 20 minutes, not 26 hours. Fill in the blank, whatever the metric is, like, we're just gonna have to, like, go to these metrics. And then the entire team literally is quit in a week where you have
mm.
nobody. I don't recommend that.
Clean
That's not
slate.
great.
Oh, clean slate.
You're like, "Ah, I gotta keep the doors open and the lights on. This is gonna be interesting."
Does the client, the business owner look at you and go, "Great, all my team all quit. Thanks for nothing."
Right, right. But, so kind of that middle ground, you get some early wins. People that really are resistant, they will usually self-select out. Um, Often you'll have to have conversation with people. I'm a big believer in working with people and working with people and working with people and finding their why and trying to get them on board. But if they
Mm.
won't, then, you promote them to customer, and you take care of them, on the way out. I think that's important also. But, I've had people on my teams that I just I love my people, but I mean, some people you just love more. Like, you don't have a favorite child, but you have a favorite child, and you're like, okay, I know this person is holding back growth, but I can't, I can't ask them to leave. I can't do it. I'm being straight up. I can't do it. And I know that's cost me some time and money in the past. But
Mm.
when I'm advising people, I'm like, hey, here's where I ended up. Here's what it cost me. You can make your own decision on whether you want to keep Joe on the team or Mike on the team. but they're a roadblock, and you can see it, and, you gotta decide. So,
Mm, mm. I like that you don't just come in all guns blazing with systems and say, right, you're going to put these systems in place. But first of all, you've looked at, you're helping the business owner understand what type of temperament or person that they are, and then building to complement that. And it's very, very important instead of just, here's the fix and plastering it over everything. It's more nuanced than
right.
that.
It'll
Um,
almost always fail.
yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah,
so. And I think most of us as business owners have probably tried to apply something that wasn't suited to who we are. And so finding that way through is
yeah.
is where the magic happens. So I've got some just quick questions to wrap this up. But hire
Okay.
fast or slow?
Slow.
First system you'd build if you took a struggling business over tomorrow?
The simplest one in the entire building, whatever it is.
The simplest. I like simple.
Don't
The
take the most
most
complex thing and try to systemize it. Let's take something simple, like, we have to say hello when someone walks in the door within 3 seconds. What's the
yes.
system around that? And there could be a system around that, like, you have to look up, you have to wave, you have to make eye contact, you have to say hello.
What's the most useful thing you've learnt from the franchise system that you wouldn't have expected?
The importance of understanding and following the operations manual. Whatever franchise system you're in, they built that, that's what made them successful. Don't reinvent the wheel. Do what made them successful.
Don't you hate it when the obvious answer is the right answer?
Yeah, and it happens. I laugh because it happens all the time. You come in someplace and they're doing none of the things that are in the operations manual, and you're like, "Well, why don't we just go do it that way?" Well, it doesn't, doesn't work here. It doesn't, what works on the one down the street. Well, my neighborhood's different. Is it though?
Is it though? What's the one question on a Sunday night that every business owner should be asking themselves each Sunday?
Do I have to go to work tomorrow? Because if you had true freedom, you don't have to.
Oh, that's actually a brilliant answer. Do I have to go to work tomorrow? If I do, my systems aren't working yet properly.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's a choice. People get their juice being in the office or in the building and from people. It depends where you get that from.
Yeah, yeah, well said. Thank you, Mike, so much for your time. For anyone listening, you probably need to go and buy Mike's book, Grow Smart, not Grow Fast. It's called Grow Smart. And we'll put the link in the description. And if you want to hire Mike to come and turn your business around, I think that'd be a good move. Thanks, Mike, for your time.
Thank you so much for having me on today. I really appreciate it.